Kenyan gold last night in the women's for Jacqueline Chepkoech. This could well be a Kenyan 1-2-3, an astonishing record of Kenya in this event. You saw Kibiwott on the outside, who was silver behind Kipruto on the Gold Coast 4 years ago. There is Concestas Kipruto, the defending champion, the Olympic champion, winner of the world title in 2017 and 2019. Edward Trippas of Australia alongside the Canadian champion John Gay. If there is to be a challenger to the Kenyans, I wonder if it might come from Avinash Sabo, made the final of the World Championships in Oregon. I mean, it's a big step to challenge the three Kenyans here, but had a great run in Rabat at the Diamond League meeting. So this is the youngest of the Kenyans, the 19-year-old world under-20 champion last year. So there is home representation in this final. Jonathan Hopkins of Wales, who was 6th on the Gold Coast in 2018, and Zach Seddon. And the smile again that all English athletes have worn on the start line when being introduced. Ben Buckingham of Australia makes up the lineup. So it's a straight final. It was expected to be qualifying earlier in the week and then into the final, but the number of athletes involved meant it went straight to a final. And it's got a lot to live up to if it can match the final of the women's steeplechase last night. The drama there as Perez Chimitai fell and the 18-year-old Jacqueline Chepkoech won, and Lizzie Bird took a silver for England. Little twitch from Saddam on the start line, but it's an astonishing record that Kenya has in this event, in particular the men's steeplechase. They've taken gold, silver and bronze in this event at the last 6 Commonwealth Games. The last non-Kenyan to win a medal was Graham Fell, the English athlete, although by then he was representing Canada in 1994. It is, I'll go back to 86 Commonwealth Games. I was adding it up. 22 of the 24 medals in this event have been won by Kenya, and they may well do 1, 2, 3 here.
And it's a dominance that they're extremely proud of as well. They make sure that where we might have seen perhaps not the strongest team in some events for Kenya fielded at these Commonwealth Games, this one is undoubtedly a top-notch, top-strength team, and I'm excited to see how young Amos Serum goes. He's the world junior champion, raced 8:17 in Nairobi at that altitude, so that's a significant performance. Couldn't go to the World Championships even though he'd won their trial because he hadn't fulfilled the criteria of enough anti-doping out of competition tests before you go to the championships. But a lot of people tipping him to replace Kemboy as the showman of steeplechasing in Kenya.
Ezekiel Kemboy, who would dance after his wins, and he was an astonishing finisher. But already, briefly, Avinash Sabo of India was out in front there, but very, very quickly Kenyans have all taken it on, and taken it on at just a blistering pace as well. And his Kibiwott, Abraham Kibiwott, who took silver behind Kipruto's on the Gold Coast 4 years ago and was 5th at the World Championships, and he's just gone racing out. So again, the likes of Jonathan Hopkins and Zach Seddon in that group, they just have to again run their own race and see what that brings them, see if they can get close to the personal best perhaps, or a season best time, because I'm almost certain this is going to be a 1, 2, 3 for Kenya. It's just in what order.
And in contrast to the women's race, when we saw that extremely fast first lap, which then had to be pegged back, this has gone out hard, but it's gone out sensibly hard for them. And immediately you see the pace strung out behind, because you have to make that decision. You can't, in a steeplechase, try and go out with the pace and hang on for as long as possible, because you have to be able to safely negotiate those barriers on really fatigued legs as the race goes on.
So I think it's rather dangerous for Avinash Sabo, the Indian runner, because he's run 8:15 this year in Rabat. I mentioned that very good run he had in the Diamond League meeting, and he's sort of trying to hang on to the back of the three Kenyans at the moment, but with that there's the danger that he'll get lost a little bit, and trying to go with that pace that he might fade and come the latter stages of the race he'll suffer for it. So he's just a few meters off the back there. Is it almost worth his while just saying, right, okay, this is, I mean, it's good to have them to work off, but you don't want to get drawn into a race which is beyond you.
It does seem to be slowing a little bit now. That was 2:39 through the first kilometre, and Kibiwott had kind of picked up the pace. the others took a little bit more time to reel him back in and to get back to him. Kipruto, in particular, just kind of stayed as the third place Kenyan and then gradually moved up. And when he came past Serum took that as a sign to go with him. So now they've bunched up again. And I do think for Sable, he's kind of enough in contact there. And that's okay in the steeplechase, because what he does, he's a little bit detached, but he gets a clear sight to each of the barriers. So I think he'll be happy enough with that. The issue is he fatigues, does his technique start to go?
I think I was mentioning Concessus Kipruto in the middle of the Kenyans there. I mentioned at the start that he was the Olympic champion. Well, he's not the defending Olympic champion. He was Olympic champion in Rio. He couldn't compete at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. He's had a lot of things going on off the track in recent years, Concessus Kipruto, and he's not the force that he was as we look to Zach Seddon, working alongside the two Australians, Ben Buckingham and Ed Trippas. And then just a little bit further behind, Jonathan Hopkins, the Welsh athlete coming through. So again, they're involved in their own race. And you see it, just looking round, and actually Sable's still there. And as you mentioned, the pace slowing a little bit. So the Indian athlete able to hang on for the moment. So that group of 4, 3 Kenyans, 1 Indian athlete, a long way clear as it stands. Again, going through the water, and there is always that danger that things can go wrong. So for Perez Chemeta, although she has that, you see in the women's steeplechase quite often that sort of side saddle hurdling technique, and that really cost her last night. And actually Chemeta this morning collecting her bronze medal, as it was, behind Lizzie Bird, had to come to the medal ceremony on crutches, the Olympic champion, and she was in tears on the podium. So there can be drama in the latter stages of a steeplechase when the legs really start to get fatigued, but everyone just hurdling very comfortably at the moment. And you can see from the overhead shot the gap that they have, the 4 athletes at the moment. Going back to John Gay, the Canadian champion, who's alone in 4th just now, 5th rather just now.
Yeah, John Gay in a little bit of no man's land there, but he's sticking to his task, and he's working himself clear of that chasing group behind, which includes Zach Seddon and the 2 Australian men. But at the front, it's just as it was. There is John Gay now, and so you can see briefly flashing up there through the 2 kilometre mark. The pace just a little bit dropped, but not hugely, and maybe just gathering a little bit to try and shake off the Indian athlete. They will be aware that Sable is there without a doubt, and there will have been a little bit of chatting probably from Kipruto there, just making sure that the other 2 are aware that we need to keep working at this and we need to stick to the plan.
Trying to think what other event there might be across all sports that one country dominates quite so much as Kenya in the steeplechase. Although on the world stage now they're slightly annoyed that Sufyan Al-Bakali has taken over the top of things in the men's side. Obviously not competing here at the Commonwealth Games, but it is greatly irked Kenya that at Worlds and Olympic Games Sufyan Al-Bakali is now getting a little bit of a gap just starting to open, but closing up once more.
Yeah, I think although it's really important for the Kenyans to get a clean sweep here and to maintain that dominance, it's also important to the individual athletes. They want to come out on top, and it is their blue ribbon event. So to go back to Kenya and say that you won the 3,000 metre steeplechase at the Olympic Games, at the World Championships, at the Commonwealth Games, it is a really big deal. And to beat Concessus Kipruto, even though he has had his struggles over the previous years, and this is significant now because Sable is going around them and recognises that Kipruto is running away.
Yeah, Kipruto running away, Sable coming around, Seddon the youngster, and Concessus Kipruto looks to be just in a little bit of bother just now, although sometimes that can be deceptive, but I'm not sure here that gap is deceptive at all as they hit the bell. And this does not look as if it is going to be a Kenyan 1-2-3, because Kipruto out in front, Sable giving chase for India in the silver medal position at the moment. Then you have MS Serem, and Concessus Kipruto has almost given up the ghost here in 4th position, so he's not even going to get onto the podium. So Kenya now, and Kipruto coming under pressure as well from Sable, the Indian, who comes around alongside Kipruto. This is not in the plan. Kenya come here to celebrate gold and silver and bronze, and might they not even have gold? Kipruto still out in front. Serem in 3rd, Sable now, and again still barriers to negotiate. The final time to the water. Oh, and a stutter there from Kipruto. Sable a little bit cleaner, has a bit of momentum coming round. And here is the challenge from the Indian, and here is the roar of the crowd and the grit of the teeth from Kipruto. One more barrier to clear, and he does, and he kicks off the back of it, and he'll surely have enough now. Although Sable coming back, coming back, and he just edges out and gets it on the line. Just he gets it, Kibiwot. Just ahead of Sablé, who is charging. You saw Kibiwot just drifting out a little bit, turning round and looking all the time. In fact, John Gay is coming round to take fourth place as well. Concessa's Kipruto is entirely abandoned. And he's taken on the line by Buckingham as Zach Seddon comes through over the final barrier. Well, what a finish though. But Zach Seddon will take the cheers as comes across the line. And again, he would have hoped for a little bit better. Not quite the form of recent years for Zach Seddon, and Jonathan Hopkins looking, there we are, a step on the barrier. You know you're weary if you're taking a little pause on the top of the barrier. That's hard work. It's pretty warm down there actually today in the sunshine. Was, and nearly went. Clears all the barriers in the steeplechase, nearly goes over in the camera. But Kenya do have the gold, but they don't have the silver, and they very nearly didn't have the gold. They certainly don't have a clean sweep, but Kibiwot takes it for Kenya. But what a race.
What a race. That was such an exciting race. I think at the bell, Kibiwot was looking around. He was trying to work out what had happened. Final lap surge there and allowed Sablé to get back on terms, and that's twice. 3 times Sablé tried to come past him, and he's rewarded with a personal best, but rewarded us with a brilliant race. And it really came down to it was coming back again as they closed in on the line, and Kibiwot looking round. I don't know what he was looking around for, because he must have been able to sense that he was right there.
I was surprised at Concessa's Kipruto though. I think he's run faster than that this year. I think he just did give up mentally towards the end.
He started to feel that.
For the first time, men's steeplechase medal for the first time, with Avinash Mukund Sablé taking that silver, very nearly taking the gold. Personal best by about a second. Kibiwot with the gold for Kenya, Sablé with the silver for India, and Amos Serem the bronze for Kenya, and Kipruto down in